Hi, this is Samuel, and this is my video on the four subjects of science that we've worked on this year, and I'm just gonna show how it applied to my life and education. So, starting off with ecology, it was one of the easier subjects that I've done in science, but I learned a lot through the whole process of learning how certain animals react to their habitat and how they could influence other habitats and the difference between ecosystems, uh, abiotic factors and biotic factors that work together to make one whole ecosystem. So just a connection of all living things and non-living things. Uh, One of my favorite parts of ecology was learning about the biomes, which had drastically different relationships and weathers. It was just like really interesting seeing the differences. I also liked learning about the animals and categorizing them in separate areas where they live and become one group. So ecology was fine to me. Not my favorite subject, but still up there. And moving on with chemistry. Chemistry was the hardest course in my opinion, but it was also the most fun because we did a lot of hands-on work with the labs and getting to talk with friends while doing work. It was like the hardest part, but at the same time, it didn't feel as bad because you got to work with others, learn with others, and I also really like learning about the periodic table because that's something I always wondered about as a kid and like talking to my dad about that, even though memorizing them wasn't the most fun part. Uh, Chemistry also was interesting when we got to the atomic mass and atomic units, learning how to identify certain things by their properties, melting points, freezing points, chemical changes, physical properties, and such. It was just weird seeing chemicals that I never thought I would be near in a chemistry lab because I thought science was always just like read the textbook. But chemistry surprised me with how much we did a lot of mixtures and it gave me like the scientist perspective on things. Like I actually felt like I was doing something while in other classes just like we were writing things down and just doing a test. So electricity was kind of short and I won't say boring because it was one of the most important in my opinion because it expanded on atomic mass and atoms, protons, neutrons. It was fun using the electrostatic series. There was a lot of fun projects like the CAN and like the Van der Graaf machine. So electricity wasn't the longest and also when it came to the math part, it was just like I don't think I'm gonna remember all this stuff, but it didn't turn out that bad. So wasn't my favorite, but the time we had with it was enjoyable. And finally, space. Space is my favorite subject, like in real life, but in science class, of course, as I said, chemistry. Because I want to be an astronomer when I grow up. I read about space almost every day. I want to study the stars, but not go in there because that's like, I don't want to die. But at the same time, it's just like the feeling of knowing there's something farther out there. And just recently, even talking about the birth and death of a star was really interesting. Thinking about the black holes and everything that was going on. So, yeah, I hope we ended off well because I have some knowledge of space, but it's kind of hard to remember because there's just so much to know. And hopefully, we do get to learn about supernovas and constellations because those are really interesting in my opinion. So, science class is probably going to be one of my favorite classes to go through the whole year. And I really like this class, learning a lot that I didn't know before. So, I hope it continues to go that way.